Welcome to The Explainer. I've got to tell you, I am absolutely pumped about what we're looking at today. It feels like something pulled straight out of an adventure novel, but the crazy part is, it's completely real. Today, we're heading deep beneath the sands of time into the Dunhuang labyrinth. So buckle up, because the secrets buried under the ancient Silk Road are waiting to be uncovered, and things are about to get really suspenseful.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just listen to this description for a second. Whispers of trapped manuscripts and ink that refuses to dry haunt their steps. I mean, wow, let that sink in. That is a jarring, powerful image, isn't it? It completely shifts the vibe from your standard archaeological dig to something that feels, I don't know, almost alive. This isn't just about digging up old rocks. It's a place thick with rumors, where the very ink on the pages supposedly defies time. Talk about the perfect hook for the mystery we're unraveling today.
Which brings us to Section 1, the Forgotten Silk Road Map.
Every great mystery has to start somewhere, right? For us, it kicks off in the misted corridors of Dunhuang. This entire investigation was sparked by something totally lost to history, a forgotten map. Just imagine the sheer luck of stumbling onto a map that points to a place no one even knew was missing. And what exactly was it pointing to? A subterranean library. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to ground ourselves in the physical reality of the ancient Silk Road, right around the twilight of the Tang Dynasty. We aren't talking about a simple buried chest here. We're talking about a hidden network of chambers, an entire complex built directly beneath the ruins of the Silk Road, completely concealed right under the feet of travelers and merchants.
Now let's move into Section 2, safeguarding the forbidden texts.
Once you realize this massive underground labyrinth actually exists, you immediately have to ask, why? Why go through all that insane effort just to hide some information? We really have to shift our focus to the human stakes involved here. The answer actually lies in a desperate mission. Some dusty scrolls they uncovered finally gave us the truth, describing those secret chamber networks in detail. And the crucial piece is this: they were safeguarding forbidden texts from invaders. This was all about protection. These monks were going to unbelievable lengths to hide their fragile history because they knew incoming invaders, specifically the fierce forces of the Xixia Empire, threatened to just wipe out everything in their path. So they took their most precious knowledge and literally buried it in the dark.
Section 3, Descending into the Labyrinth. Let's see how this builds as we conceptually walk down into the dark alongside the explorers.
The physical descent is really a step-by-step journey into the unknown. Step 1, reading that forgotten map, basically the key that unlocks the door. Step 2, uncovering those dusty scrolls, trying to piece together the monks' ancient warnings. And finally, Step 3, actually entering the misted corridors. You can practically feel the temperature drop, and the air get kind of heavy as we follow this slow reveal. It's a crazy transition from the theoretical down into the very real pitch-black tunnels beneath the earth.
And then, when they finally arrive, here is what they see. Radiant lamplight flickers over carved stone and faded murals, revealing routes archives never dared chart. The language there paints such a vivid, breathtaking picture. You're moving out of those dark, misted corridors, and suddenly, flickering lamplight reveals beautifully carved stone and murals that haven't seen the sun in centuries. It perfectly captures that pure, spine-tingling awe of finding completely uncharted spaces that historical archives literally had no idea existed.
Which brings us to our ultimate dilemma in Section 4, deliberate archive or myth.
Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is how perfectly it captures the two competing sides of this mystery. We are constantly bouncing between the gritty, dusty reality of archaeology and the completely surreal, almost magical rumors surrounding the site. On one hand, you have the physical evidence of a deliberate archive, tangible stuff, carved stone, faded murals, physical routes mapped out in a secret chamber network, hard science. But then, on the other hand, you have the legend guarding that fragile knowledge, all those wild myths meant to terrify intruders and keep them away. Things like undrying ink and those haunting whispers of trapped manuscripts we talked about at the very beginning. We're constantly weighing the physical reality against the supernatural lore designed to protect it.
And that leaves us with one final lingering question. Was this tunnel network simply a deliberate practical archive built by desperate monks, or was it a legend guarding fragile knowledge, wrapped in myths of undrying ink to keep the unworthy away? You know, maybe the most brilliant defense mechanism those monks ever created wasn't the labyrinth itself, but the terrifying stories that surrounded it. It really makes you think about the incredible lengths humanity will go to in order to protect its history, and just how fragile that knowledge truly is. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. I have a feeling this mystery is going to keep you thinking long after we're done here.